we got it in. We're pushing them hard, and most of them are getting better. Most of them are getting better. We got any questions?
Mark, can you talk a little bit about Jonathan Rupp and the difference between this spring and last spring?
Right. Well, he's obviously knows a lot more of the system now than he did a year ago, and he's done a really nice job. I think if everybody remembers a year ago, the spring game, that's what most fans remember, him making a couple big plays in the spring game. That was probably his best day of the spring last year. Not that he was doing that poorly, but he was learning basically, and but he had a big day, spring game last year, but you know, running a couple go routes and looking good doing it. Now he's much more proficient at running all the routes and understand better what to do. Still got a ways to go in his precision of running his routes and blocking. He's got to continue to improve and continue to improve on assignments, but he's a lot more prepared than he was a year ago.
Was he out there today?
He was. He didn't start out with us, but he had some academic work to do, catch up on. I don't know, it was a project or a paper or something. I don't know what it was, but he finished that up and he came out and practiced did all the teamwork with us. That was a planned event.
I think J.J. Green will be able to go in the G-Day game.
Well, we hope so. We hope so. We think he will.
Coach, what have you seen out of Brendan Douglas this spring?
Very physical runner, just like we saw last year. Much better pass protector. You know, probably the best pass protector we got right now as a running back. He's got good vision. He understands better where his blocking schemes are, how the blocking schemes develop. So he makes better decisions because of that. Doing well.
What about A.J. Turman?
You know what, A.J. has really improved a lot. He works as hard as anybody that we have on the team. He's given, you know, just tremendous effort in all areas. You know, school, you know, just how he does in the weight room, what he does on the football field. He's a really hard-working guy, and he's getting better because of it.
You can get lost in that tailback backfield with what's there and what's coming back. Is he doing enough to make sure he doesn't get?
Well, you know what? He's definitely grabbing everybody's attention with his effort and the improvement that he's making. So he's definitely making a good positive statement for himself.
Mark, you guys offered Bruce Price Ramsey before he became a starter, I think, in high school. Was it something you saw in camps that really wowed you?
Yeah, I think he I don't know how many years he came to camp, but we had seen him a bunch. We knew he was running an offensive system that we weren't going to see all the things that we needed to see, but by coming to camp, we were able to see the raw ability to throw the football, his size, you know, even the size of his hands and the athleticism. And then when you get them in camp, as you're instructing guys, you get a feel for how they learn. And all those things were real positive enough for us to go ahead and offer them.
Is that kind of rare, though, for that kind of thing to happen again when a guy used to run that kind of running offense and so on?
It's not that unusual. That the QB position is one where you can make an offer to a guy based on a camp performance, probably more than any position out there.
Do you have an idea what you're doing G-Day in terms of format and all that? Pretty much the same as?
It'll be almost identical. Well, I'm trying to think. It may be identical to a year ago. We'll go 12-minute quarters. We will not kick off. We'll set the ball in the 25 to start a drive. Every punt will result in a 35-yard change of, you know, field position. If a punt would land inside the 10, then we'll just bring it out to the 20. Trying to think of other things. Extra point field goals we will kick, but we will not rush them. Trying to think of
Ones versus two.
basically our number one offense and our number two defense will be the red team. I'm pretty sure that's how we're doing it. Black team will be our number one defense and our number two offense. Coach Bobo will take the group that has the number 1 O, and Coach Pruitt will take the group that has the number 1 defense.
Will be a case kind of like practice, man, where you can get as many different guys opportunities in GPA as possible.
We try to get everybody some reps, and you know, some guys may start on one side and then they may flip jerseys in the second half or something like that. If we think we've seen enough of a number 1, like we might have some guys that are working with the ones that we'll say, hey, he's going to play a half, and so we may be bringing a guy from the other field over, and then that'll give like a 2 may go to the 1 group, and then one of the 3s may be getting work with the 2. What was the 2 group, I guess. We're trying to get everybody some reps in.
How you gonna work the quarterbacks?
You know, I haven't talked to Mike yet on that. He usually sets the plan, lets me know what it is, and I'm thumbs up.
Been hearing for a couple of weeks, defense is wide open. Do you think it will be more clearly defined after Saturday?
I mean, we'll stack them. We'll put them in a depth chart afterwards, but I doubt that we'll say that's a solid starting lineup, because we got freshmen coming in, and we got guys that can make a lot of improvement over the off season, and I think I mean there may be a couple guys that are more solid than others, but most every position will still be up for grabs, I would say.
Through these practices, I mean, this is going to be the fans' first time to see this defense under Coach Pruitt. What are you confident they'll see that maybe they hadn't seen in the past?
Oh, I don't know. I think they'll line up. I don't think we're going to try to do a lot of things on defense. I think we'll line up and play some good, solid, fundamental defense. Being the fact that it is, you know, Jeremy's first year as a coordinator, you know, people look at our TV spring game. You know, people try to get clues as to what they can figure out. I'm sure, you know, Clemson will be getting our spring game, we'll get their spring game. South Carolina will get ours, we'll get theirs. And they'll be looking for any clue they can get that might help them over the off season as to how to prepare. So I doubt we do, you know, everything that we'll do in the fall, obviously, but it'll be, I would say it's going to be pretty based, and try not to trick anybody, just see who can play defense.
You know yet what coaches are gonna be up top and what coaches are gonna be on the field?
I do not. I think most everybody in this game will be on the ground, because we split the staff. So some offensive coaches will be on one side and some offense will be on the other. And the same thing for defense. So I don't even know if we've got enough guys to go upstairs.
Have you been doing special teams wise about as much in practice as this spring as it'll be in the preseason when you get there?
I don't understand what you mean.
Special teams wise, are you doing as much during a typical spring practice this spring that you're?
I think we're doing a little bit more this spring than we've done in the past. We even incorporated more punt team stuff into our scrimmage days, which normally we don't do that. We do our extra point field goal and field goal block stuff for scrimmages, but this year we've done punt, added punt to that, and we're doing more drills with the punt team versus the punt return and block team. We did that today to start the practice off, which was really good. So we're doing a little bit more, I would say, right now. And part of it is just to define who the special teamers are, who can do what, but also try to perfect some skills that they have to be good in the fall.
Have there been any kind of obvious differences with the way the coaching duties are split up with special teams so far?
Well, ask that again, because I'm not 100% sure what you mean on that either.
On the with the new way the special teams duties are being
Right.
split up. I know the one day we were out there the whole time, I saw, even though Coach Lilly is, you know, on that side, you had a whole bunch of assistants involved.
Right. Yeah, we do that. I mean, every time we do drill work or like you might have seen a situation where the punt team was working against the punt return and block. I'm not sure what you saw, but even if it's just punt team only, Coach Lilly's got it divided up with at least 4 coaches working that team. He heads it up, but there's at least 3 or 4 other guys helping him. And the same thing's true of all the units.
Or kind of another subject, I know some of the kids you've been recruiting and have been tweeting out those sketches that they've had done of them. Who did that, was that something you came up with? How did
I
that
didn't come up
about?
with that. I really don't know for sure who came up with it, but, you know, it's, the recruits enjoy it, it's within the rules, and, you know, it's getting a lot of attention, so I guess that's a good thing.
Have you been surprised by some of the response to it? I mean, 'cause that is a little kind of a pop.
Not really. I mean, I think it is, it seems like, I didn't know if anybody else in the country was doing it or not, but it seems like we're one of the few that are doing it, and, so it's been a positive thing.
Who's doing the pictures?
I'll be honest, I don't even know who does it.
Weren't sure if it was the art school.
Anything else?
You got anything else? Okay, all right.